Welcome, welcome. This podcast is an alpha and may be subject to change. Joining me today, I have Zolt, just Zolt for once, actually. Welcome to the show.
Gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know where this is gonna go today.
Gonna be a shit show, boys.
I don't know.
All right. Woo!
Don't have my usual co-host Tef to back me up on this one. Oh no. That's fine. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. We've got a bit of news to talk about today. But first of all, we'll start off with what we've been playing this week. Zolt, would you like to take us away?
I mean, you're gonna be shocked what I've been playing.
Is it
I've
classic
been playing
WoW?
World of Warcraft.
Oh boy. Surprise,
No,
surprise.
I mean, I have been playing World of Warcraft. I'll start with that and I'll keep it short and sweet so I can get off the topic. I have been grinding for weeks for a helmet that I've wanted for a long time, and I finally got it, which is a massive piece of gear. And the gates of AQ, I think I will be, well, they're going to be opening soon. I think I should be raiding AQ this coming Friday, which is very exciting for me. I'm really looking forward to it. We might do an AQ 20 earlier on, depending on when it opens, we'll see. AQ 20, we're expected to clear in one night easily. I think we'll probably do it in under 2 hours. AQ 40, on the other hand, whether we clear on the first night, I'm not too sure as of yet. Depends on how many fire mages we have, basically. Other than that,
All fire mages now.
Oh yeah, fire mages have just took over the DPS meters now. It's not warriors anymore. It's back to mages. Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm just like God, so we'll see. We'll see. Well, yeah.
Okay.
So I've been playing a ton of Overwatch. I'm getting back into Overwatch a little bit. That's a lot of fun.
How is Overwatch nowadays? Because I've
honestly,
not touched it since like before.
There's a couple.
What was the guy with the fist that came out?
Doomfist. I don't like him.
Okay.
I like. There's a new hero called Echo. I don't know how new she is. I don't really know. But
Does she go back in time?
No, that's Tracer. She's just a lot of fun though.
I was trying to go for the League of Legends one. It's fine.
Oh, okay. He was. Time traveling boyo himself. I've also been playing Grounded, which I know you've played a little bit of today.
I have played a little bit of Grounded.
I want to play more of that because that game, for anybody who doesn't know, is what is it, like alpha? I think it's alpha or like early.
It's
I don't know.
very early game.
Very early. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell that it's early, but it's still decent. It's still really good. It's really enjoyable. I'm having fun playing it. I
mean, we can talk about it a
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, So I mean, the story quests in it are like very short. I've pretty much finished the story quests when I played. I went through them all like right away, and so
I haven't done any of them.
Yeah.
Done one of them, not one. I've just been running around in circles, getting scared by spiders. I found a tarantula. Have you seen those tarantulas? Yeah, because you got the spiders that are big, but have you seen the tarantulas?
Yeah, I think so.
Big. They are.
So
big.
I think I got attacked by a spider at one point, but I just ran and didn't turn back.
Oh yeah, that's always me and Alan will do because I play with Alan a lot. Yeah.
So I wanted to just get away and just like, you know, make because it was like I had no armor and I took one hit and I was like half health. I was like, okay, I don't want to get hit again, so I just ran, didn't turn back. But I've had like one of the tarantulas, like one of the big black widows, like chase me.
That's terrifying. No, that's terrifying.
I don't know what they're actually called, but I've had one of them chase me. They were like hanging around a pod, so there's like these science pods and stuff.
Yeah.
That are around.
The research tentacle, I think.
Yeah, and then so the story, like there's no quest at all for it, but you basically go over to the big oak tree. You go inside, and then you can then research stuff there. You like trade science points for more stuff that you can build. And that's one of the core mechanics of it, I guess.
I've not been there yet. Me and Olive, when we played, we've just been a pair of spags running from spiders trying to hide because we both have arachnophobia and hate bugs. So it's a good time.
Yeah,
at some point, it'll be a hilarious stream, honestly.
I just didn't care. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put some armor. I'm gonna go on over to the tree, and then there was so it turns out there's a spider that just lives under the tree, and I was just like staring at it for a while. That was good. Ellen actually came along with me for that, so she wasn't that scared. I don't know. Maybe she was. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It is very early though. I feel like there's not a lot to it.
Yeah.
There's
a lot. I mean, there's not a lot to it, but Like there's still a lot that I've not done. Like a lot. We're still really early game. As I said, we haven't even started like the quest, like the story to it. But there's still like a bunch of caves that I need to go, and I went in one cave. Yeah. There's just so many different places. Like there's a little like well, I call it a lake, but it's not a lake because we're tiny. It's just like a little like pond that I want to get across it because there's like a shed and I want to see what's on the other side of the water. But when you get close to there, there's just spiders everywhere.
Is that
And
by the
it's
tree?
terrifying. I think it is probably it's by the big oak tree because I keep going there. Is it got like a lamp connected to it that you can climb on?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's exactly. And there's like the
Acorns are there.
acorns on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I have been there. I just haven't been in the tree yet. That's where I go to get my acorns.
Yeah. I mean,
we literally live on like the other side of the garden from that.
It's the only place you can get acorns, I assume, because it's the tree. I was like, where else am I gonna get acorns from?
I feel like it's the best, but not that it's like it's probably not the only one. I've found them elsewhere, but when you go there, when they've respawned, there's like 10 of them, and they're really good.
Yeah, though there are a lot of spiders around there.
They really are. They're terrifying, mate. They scare the crap out of me.
I mean, yeah, it does have like an arachnophobia, like what do they call it?
I'm not turning that on. I ain't no bitch. It's an arachnophobia. It's just arachnophobia, like fucking. You can scale it from like 1 to 5.
Yeah, and then essentially, if you take it to 5, the spider, instead of looking like a spider, just looks like a pair of eggs strapped together. Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
So you can actually see a preview as you go along it, and I just looked along and I was like, it's just a pair of eggs with eyes.
I need to see this now. Hang on, I'm gonna try and find it.
See if you can Google it. It's just very silly looking. But yeah, I don't know. There is probably more to it, but it doesn't feel like you can build a lot of stuff. I don't know. We did figure out how to build
like a pair of eggs. You're right.
It does.
That's fucking great.
But yeah, you could build like stairs. We've discovered the place where you research text, so you can now build stairs and like floors and stuff on the scaffolding.
Yeah, we need that because we just live in a box made out of clay foundations. That's what we do.
Yeah, it's probably not the best. But you can also get like fortified structures in there as well and stuff. And I don't know, I've not gotten to a lot of that yet, but it does feel like once you get to that point, I don't know what else there is to do. I guess other than just build, your own little city.
Build and get the end game gear and stuff, I suppose. I don't think there's much to do outside.
I don't know
whether there's like
what the end game
goal. I think it's just a general survival, though. To be fair, because it's like it's.
Well, like I think it's gonna be like Subnautica. It looks like it's taken a lot from all survival games. So you've got a lot of like stuff from like the forest where you carry the logs. You have the Subnautica like story mission thing, which it's a lot more directed than Subnautica. So it's like, hey, go to this location, go to that location, and once you complete there's only like 3 or 4 story like quests, and then you're done. That's the main story over. So I don't know if I've just not seen other stuff yet. So there might be a lot more to it. I know there was like there's like a pack of mints that Eleanor was like, yeah, I don't know how we get in there. And I was like, well, the cap's right here, and that was like, but it doesn't look like it's open. And then Eleanor just went around and punched it, and it opened it up, and you can actually mine mints. That's a thing you can do. Okay. Yeah.
So it sounds like when you play it with Alan, like you try and play the game. When I play with Alan, we run around in circles, running away from stuff. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I've played smart. You're like, oh, spider, throw spear.
Yep.
You probably have a bow or something. Wouldn't surprise me. You're just like going around shooting.
You're
just shooting.
I shoot shit from far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kiting stuff. I'm practicing for Ashes of Creation. I knew I'd transition us into Angela. But yeah, yeah. It's a lot of fun. What have you been playing?
Other than Grounded, I'm trying to think what else I've actually played that's kind of new. I mean, I played some indie games. Yeah, I played some indie games last night. We played. I mean, some of them were not very good. There was Rain on Your Parade, which was like it was a typical Unity game. It had it was using some Unity assets, and it wasn't very good. It looked like it could have been fun, but it was pretty bog standard. Other than that, we also played. Let me actually go through the list so I can know the name of the game, because they had some pretty. We played Venice 2089, which was an interesting one. I saw it and I was thinking like Jet Set Radio, but it wasn't anything like Jet Set Radio. But I was like, I feel like it should have something like that. It had a mechanic where you get a hoverboard, essentially. You go around town doing quests for people, and there's like rings you can pick up, and as you go and collect the rings, the beat of the music starts to like increase, which was cool. I like the like progressive beat, but
rhythm game. So that is
like whenever you like stop to interact with something, it would immediately the beat would go, and also the beat was very straight. Like, I had a weird chime in it. It was like chime noises in the beat, and it was very chill. It was, I feel like it should have been a lot more funky, but it never, I don't know. It was just a Italian student project, so as far as I'm aware, I think it was just by a university, so I assume it's a student project. It It was interesting.
I really like the fact that you do these indie game stuff, because I know you've always been into it, even though, like, even back when you done your old main, now second YouTube channel, you had like a couple of indie games from back in the day, and I think it's a really good thing for you to do, because you do, like, I don't know, you kind of like a little bit of a passion somewhere in you for like indie games and like really early access small games that you can see potential in for indie game fans, and I think it's really good. I think you should bring that series back. I really do, because I'm not an indie game person, but I watched those videos back in the day, and I think the quality of content that you can do now is a lot better in comparison to what you did 5-6 years ago, whenever it was, for those indie games. Maybe even longer, to be honest with you. I think you should do it at some point.
I've thought about doing it on my channel. I'm just not sure, because it is an arcade channel right now, but we'll see. I'll maybe transition over to doing some of those. I was thinking of doing Sand on there, because Sand was a lot of fun, and I saw a lot of potential in that. It's one of those things where originally I was just going to do like any indie game, you know, but at the same time I want to actually just look for the stuff that's good.
I think you'll be fine transitioning stuff in. Honestly, I think if you just keep on top of the amount of arcade content you are pumping out and try and squeeze like a different video in here and there.
Yeah,
probably just blend in. Like for every like 2 or 3 arcade videos, there's a different video.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe I could do it like once a week and do like 2 arcade videos a week, so like 3 videos a week or something like that. But yeah, I feel like I could do any indie game, but it's very easy to do videos on bad indie games and just, you know, be like, haha, game bad.
Yeah, game bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that. Like, I remember looking through Steam a long time ago and finding all the most stupid games. Like, listen, that one of the most fun times I've ever had playing any game with you is when we both got Squishy the Suicidal Pig.
No.
That game is, if no, listen.
That was a card farming game, is what that was.
No, not a sponsored game. Sorry, not a sponsored podcast, boys. If you've not played Squishy the Suicidal Pig, go and do it. It's like playing that BS Mario game where like it intends you to die. It's great.
Yeah. I'm just checking the timestamp now so I can censor this out in the Spotify in the audio only version. Oh. But yeah, I don't know, it's something we'll see about doing. But yeah, Venice was interesting. I think it's got a lot of potential. If it didn't have the creepy chimes, like the music was more creepy than it was cool. It should have had like a funky beat. The whole idea was Venice is, you know, sinking, so every other week there's high tide and half the city is underwater, which was interesting.
Yeah.
And like changes like the environment and stuff and what you're doing. But it only had 2 days, so I'd like to see a bit more to it. But who knows? It's still a work in progress.
We'll see what happens with it. I don't know. I like finding. I mean, my thing, like, I know you like finding like smaller games that are still in development and stuff. Like, that's really cool. I'm the same, but with like artists for music and stuff. That's what I love doing. But I do want to get into like looking at some like really small games that are like that deserve more attention, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's the idea behind it. Like, they deserve attention, you know, shine some light on them. And also, you can have actual, like, I can actually, like, practice some critical discussion on stuff. Because it can be a bit critical about the games at the same time and help them develop, hopefully. That's why I like to look at stuff that's not done.
Definitely, yeah. It's constructive criticism at the end of the day, mate. It's required for the game to progress. And if the devs aren't paying attention to any form of constructive criticism, then they're not going to have an audience. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, so other than that, there was also one last game called April Fall of Faith. I know, it's a bit of a mouthful. I mean, that's a problem a lot of indie games have. They just have these really long titles, or like really just unnecessary titles. But any guesses what this game's about from the title?
What title? Sorry, what was the title called?
April Fall of Faith.
April Fall of Faith.
What kind of game is this? Take a guess.
April Fall of Faith. Is this something that I don't know about, or have I not read it? Or
No, I'm just throwing this on you. Just seeing if you can guess what type of game this is.
Is it Fall Guys? Is it something to do with that?
No.
That game that people are playing? No, okay. Is it something to do with April Fools? Is it something to do with...
No.
Franken? I'm listening, boys. Yeah, remember when I said earlier on it's going to be a shit show of a podcast? Here we are, boys. It's downhill from here.
Yeah, it's it's a roguelike game. It's a roguelite. You play this woman who is a half demon who has a demon arm. It's essentially like Nero from Devil May Cry, in DMC4 at least. So, but it's just a roguelike. You go through different dungeon rooms. You'll collect like you gotta kill monsters and like you'll level up abilities over time, and you get permanent upgrades. It's one of those games where you die. So for people that don't know what a roguelite is, when you die, you actually keep some of the stuff that you got on the first playthrough.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you have to...
Yeah.
You go through 2 rooms, and then you get to...
so
you get to a boss.
From your first playthrough to go on to the next playthrough.
Yeah. It's only the permanent upgrade you keep. The other things you get are like... there's crafting in it, and there's materials you can gather. There's like crafting materials you can gather from trees and stuff. Only some trees, though. It was a little weird about stuff like that. And then some monsters had, like, drops that they occasionally would drop. You know, it was like I don't know. I guess there might be items to up the chance of them dropping the materials you need, because to make a health potion, I needed, like, 3 red slime. And I wasn't getting much slime from it. Other than that, there was... I don't know, it was interesting. I got to like a big tree boss at the end, and then he one-shot me because I had no health potions. So...
As you do.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. It had a really nice art style. Kind of reminded me a bit of Arietta of Spirits when we did try that. It had some... It wasn't as nice looking as that, but it had a similar sort of...
I don't think I've seen that. That wasn't
style.
That stream, I don't think.
That was one of my first indie game streams, I'm pretty sure.
I'm glad I've like grown out of, like really glad, and I think the more people that do it, the more games that they'll find that they enjoy. Is that back in the day I was like all about graphics and stuff, like art styles. It needed to be like the more realistic the better, like the more immersed I could get. But over the past like 1.5 to 2 years, it actually changed. In fact, you know what it was? In fact, I think it was probably started when Zelda Breath of the Wild came out, because that game, the art style in that game was just phenomenal, and it just changed me. Like, I don't know, it changed my whole, like, not interpretation, strong word, but like, I don't know, it just changed like how interested I am with the game. I'd never judge it by like the graphics ever anymore, and I don't like listening to other people's critiques on it, because a lot of people just get pissed off about silly things in games that is just completely unnecessary. Like Pokemon, for one, the game looks fantastic, but people got pissed off because they had the same tree everywhere. They never made different trees, but that triggered the whole community. No
Wait, that was the thing that upset Pokemon people? I mean...
Yes, it drove people... So, okay, I understand what they're trying to say, but it's stupid. They had a tree that you could interact with. That tree looked great. It suited...
Was it one you could cut down?
I don't know. No, you couldn't cut it down. I don't think you could like shake it or something and get like berries to fall from it and stuff.
Didn't they have this in other Pokemon games, and they all look the same in those games anyway?
Yes, but the normal trees that you can't, every one of them look like they've been taken from like the 3DS and just put into the Switch, which I understand why people are pissed off about it, but it's like, mate, come on, this game's actually, like, it's insane. It's a really, really good game. Why do you care about the trees? Like, they're just like these trees just dotted around. Like, the backlash that they got from it was just completely unnecessary, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, graphics has never been a thing that I'm interested in. Like, gameplay is always first for me. I mean, it's like
I
that.
Used to go the way around, and now I'm glad that I've changed.
Have you seen? There's like that meme. Have you seen where there's like all the different qualities of a game on like pedestals, and then at the very end there's graphics with a champagne bottle.
Yeah, and it's like at the bottom. Yeah, I've seen that. I have seen that. That's great. That is great. To be fair, there's so many games that just like Anthem. That game looks incredible. That game is also horrendous. It's so bad.
Yeah, Anthem was
I mean, that's EA
Anthem
again,
was
so I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. It would,
that was just a game they jumped on the trend with, and they were just like, they didn't really put a lot of effort into it. I think I heard they were trying to rework it. I don't know.
Too late. It's too late in my opinion. I don't know, like once a game's got a name for it like that nowadays, and like especially with EA, it's just like why? Like what they done with Star Wars is Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront. They released it. It was really bad, and now what it is now, if it released back then the way the game is now, that game would be like not top on Twitch, but it'd have really high viewers and stuff. But because it screw a name for itself on like the initial launch, it just lost so much interest straight away.
Yeah, I don't know. Battlefront also just had like other issues, like the monetization. I remember they had like, I'm pretty sure to play Darth Vader, you had to pre-order the game or something as well. They had a bunch of silly stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember a couple of content creators. They were complaining about the arcade mode because they had a time lock on it, so you could only play it for like X amount of time, hours, whatever it was, like within a certain window. You would have then had to wait. It was something along those lines. I don't remember specifically, but I remember Buggy was complaining about it. Actually, he was one who was complaining about it back in the
day. Yeah, I think a lot of people were definitely complaining about it. EA just don't want like that though. I mean, there's a lot of companies that are.
Hey, look up FIFA. No one's been new in that game for the past like 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, FIFA is like, that's what started the whole. That was. Do you remember? You needed to like pay for the online, didn't you? Needed like a. They had or not pay. You had like a card.
For which, sorry?
For the online for FIFA, you used to have what, like a game pass or something. I forgot what they used to call it.
No.
To actually play online, you got one in the case, but if you bought it second hand.
Yeah. Oh, you are right. No, you are right. Actually,
yeah.
Oh my god, I haven't thought that for years. Yeah. It came on the because I mean you don't get like books anymore in games, that's something I want to talk about as well at some point in life. Why do games not come with like little maps in them in the cases and stuff anymore? Like bring
yeah, that was really cool.
Like, they were cool. They were so good. But anyway, yeah, the that online thing was just complete bullshit. Like you needed to have like the original, like your code matched your disc. Like it was just, like why?
I think you could pay for it as well, couldn't you? But if you didn't have it
while you were on it, yes.
So that was their way of like dealing with secondhand games and like getting around people buying secondhand. But and then I think there was also another argument that they gave for it, but it was just they've been doing a lot of anti-consumer stuff with that. That and Ultimate Team is like the ultimate microtransaction.
Yes, it's really bad for that. When it first came out, I was on a hype train. I did like FIFA back in the day. I did like football and stuff, but that was like bloody hell. It was 10 years ago. No, about 9 years ago roughly. 8-9 years ago it was. And when it first came out, it was really good. It was microtransaction hell. It was completely pay to win. The systems were stupid. It just like there was some things like small things that made massive difference. Like the best players in the world had like the highest pace, and because they had the highest pace, no other player could keep up with them. Literally running, you couldn't do anything about it. It was impossible.
Yeah,
it was just stupid. Just like but like you would only get those if you opened a shed load of packs or played the game endlessly. So in that sense, yes, pay to win. It's also really easy to buy like the currency in that game, like really easy. You can have it done in minutes.
That was one of those games that was definitely like the whole Ultimate Team was very predatory. Like it was on like loot box level, and I mean it was worse than loot boxes probably. I feel like because that was what started it all. Really, we had that, and then Overwatch.
I like loot boxes. I'm all for loot boxes. I like cosmetics in games. I really do. Like FPS games stuff, I'm fine with it. I really am fine with it. I know it's a complete like money scandal and stuff, but I am a person who I like having cosmetics in games. I just do. But then it's.
But what if you could unlock those loot boxes by doing things in the game?
That's what I was getting to. But if I could do it in game rather than spending money, I'd feel a lot more accomplished. Because if I buy, I'll use Overwatch as an example. If I buy a box in Overwatch, I get a legendary skin from that. I'm like, yay. But if I just get like a random loot box, I'm like leveling up and stuff, and I get one, I'm like, oh, that was sick. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've done something to get that.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to MMOs, it's like, no, I don't like the idea of buying cosmetics as long as it's only fine is if I put a shed load of hours into the game. I want my cosmetic to look better than whoever's just spent 50 quid on a skin. Like
Yeah.
I don't agree if that buying a skin looks better than something that you've done in game. I don't agree with that. That triggers me so much.
I think like free to play games, it's kind of okay for like games that you have to pay for.
Yes.
I mean, if it's a live service, like
Yeah.
I guess it depends. Like it can be okay as long as it's cheap.
Use
but
Fortnite as an example, I suppose. Even
but
though
loot boxes, yeah,
billions.
but loot boxes are just not the way to go about it. Like I think the way Overwatch does it is they encourage you to buy loot boxes by having a lot of events, and the events are cool. They have cool events, but it's like, hey, here's these limited time skins, guys.
It's a literal
get your loot boxes while you can.
Accomplishment. That's what it is. It's a literal false sense of accomplishment. It's
I mean,
battle passes. I like battle passes. I love them. I think they're great. You don't really, you're not really indifferent, are you?
I mean, I think battle passes are better,
like
definitely, because you know what you're getting. And you can pay for that, or you could be like, I'll progress normally.
What you done in Fortnite in like season 1 when it first came out. Oh no, it was like season 3, I think it was, when
whichever one had Keanu. Yeah, when the John Wick skin, I was like,
you
okay.
played that game for like 10 hours a day for like a week, and you're like, I got it. I was like, what?
Now I never need to play the game again.
You got it, and we're like, and I'm done. It's like, okay, sick.
The only time I played Fortnite, and I was like, okay, done. Listen, you put Keanu Reeves in the game, I'm in. You know. Apparently, that's what makes me be like, okay, I need this. But I forgot how we even got here.
Microtransactions, FIFA, something about graphics in a game. That's the loophole that we fell down. I don't know how we ended up there, but we did.
From graphics to loot boxes and micro. Okay, Battlefront. That's how we got there. How did we get to Battlefront?
It started with graphics. It was graphics.
Was it graphics?
You
okay.
Started with indie games, and I said I appreciate games. Now I know just the graphics, and then we went down a wormhole, and I don't know how to get back out of it. I mean, we could get back out of it by changing to a topic that's not in line and shift it over, because we were talking about microtransactions.
I mean,
and paying for stuff.
I mean, where are you going with this?
Blizzard are banning a lot of people for real money trading. They have finally, after many years, decided to take some action.
I was going to say, we usually do the news after the break.
That's fine. We can do it after the break then. But there's a spoiler. Stay tuned. When are we going on the break?
Well, usually we go on a break in another 27 minutes.
Chat, help me out. I'm new here.
Okay, that's fine. It's not as new here. But no, did we even finish talking about what we've been playing this week?
I haven't played anything else.
Okay. Well, I mean, other than the indie games that I played, I've still been playing Arcade. I also played a bit more Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, just because I've been I don't know why I felt like playing it, but I just got back into it. You probably don't know what it is, but it is
not a clue. Not a clue. Absolutely not a clue.
They are bringing out a new version. Well, not a new, but like a sequel. It's Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. I don't think it's going to be like a direct sequel, so they'll probably have some of the same characters. But it was like a cult classic, like vampire RPG from a long time ago. It was it's one of those games that's just it's fun to play. It's got just a bunch of fun set pieces, like the hotel. There's this haunted hotel that you go in, and there's a ghost around there, and I think it's there's like, you find a newspaper of apparently a child's head was put in a washing machine or something, or a woman's head in a washing machine.
Very, very graphic, and I want to play it now.
Well, I don't think you actually see the head, but
I don't want to play it anymore.
But you also go into like a kitchen, and then literally everything in the kitchen is then thrown at you while all the stoves get set on fire and stuff. It's great. The whole hotel section's really cool. And then there's like, that's only like really the beginning of the game though. I'm like not that deep in. You get to, there's also a part where you have to like, I think there's like some biblical stuff on paintings that you need to go like tear apart. You have to tear them apart in a certain order. Some cool stuff like that, and it is a lot of fun.
A game that I pull my hair out on, honestly.
Yeah, it's probably not your game. I mean, you don't play any RPGs as far as I'm aware. other than the MMO variety.
Yeah, only the MMO variety, only specifically those.
Yeah, because you still not played The Witcher, have you?
No, sadly not. I actually uninstalled it as well. I do want to play it, but again, for me to enjoy a game, it's got to tell me that I'm better than the other person. I don't. I know it's bad. I know. But I love multiplayer stuff.
What do you think of Fall
so
Guys then? Is Fall Guys like...
I've not played it and I've not watched it.
Have you actually not watched it?
I have not watched it. No, I have no idea what goes on in that game.
Think Takeshi's Castle or Wipeout with 100 people.
It does sound fun. I've seen XQC. I've seen some of his tweets about it and some clips here and there from other streamers, and it does look funny. But I feel like it's also a game that I'd probably lose my mind in.
Probably would lose your mind, but you'd also probably... I feel like if you beat people, you'd feel good about it.
But honestly, wouldn't surprise me. I'm such a piece of shit.
You can actually grief in that game as well. Like, you can grab the other people and, like, hold them from the finish line.
A bit like Human Fall Flat in terms of, like, the movement.
I don't know exactly how it feels to play, but it does look like it has that silly sort of style to it, and apparently literally every brand in the world is trying to get their own skin in the game right now. If you've been following any of it on Twitter, because
I've seen there's a lot, like, they want like esports teams for it and stuff, and like they want a Twitch rivals for
there'll be a Twitch rivals, but there's not gonna be esports around it. But
I think the Twitch rivals will be funny, to be fair.
Yeah, that will be fun.
Twitch rivals as well. I love Twitch rivals so much. I think it's such
I've never watched a Twitch rivals.
Twitch rivals,
I know they're a thing.
Great.
I've just never watched any.
Yeah, but my favorite one is the League of Legends one, especially when Team Silver made one it, because Lily Pichu was there.
Okay, they are offline too. I figured I figured out of everyone you'd pick someone offline.
It wasn't just no.
Okay.
She played. It wasn't the offline TV team. They had like I Will Dominate as jungler, I'm pretty sure, and a couple of other people. I think Pokemon Mate might have been on the team bot lane, somewhere support or AD carry, but Lily Pichu held her own against like challenger players, and she was a legit. She failed her gold promos 3 times that season, and then won Twitch rivals like as mid laner. I don't even know. I just assumed it was offline TV because I know you're an offline TV fanboy. I do. I like offline TV. They're a really cool group.
How did we get here? Fall Guys. Yeah, so
there we go.
I think you'd actually really like Fall Guys though. It is like Wipeout though. So just imagine Wipeout, 100 people, and then you can grab the other people as well. It's like is it 50? I think it's like 50 actually. I think it's 50. I don't think it's 100.
I'll Google it because I'm just curious.
So I'm trying to like one of the basic levels is there's a finish line at one end, you all start at the other, and then there's a bunch of seesaws in the like in between that you have to like go along and jump between. Players. 60, okay. Well, it's close to 50, close enough.
That's still a lot. That's still a lot, though, 60 players in one game like that.
Yeah, it's a mix of 60. Okay. So, and essentially, there's only like a certain amount of people who can qualify by getting to the end. And if you don't qualify, you get kicked out. And you got to start again. It's like a battle royale in that sense. It like takes that idea and puts it into Wipeout.
Like such a stupid game. I need to look into it now. You've got me. You've got me intrigued.
Yeah, so think like Wipeout, and Human Fall Flat, but also a battle royale.
Okay. Can I get a gun?
You don't get a gun, but you can. So what a lot of people do is you can be in teams as well. So what a lot of people like to do is like at the end of the finish line, they'll wait there, and then if they're trying to get their team in, they'll just grab someone as they're trying to cross the line and just hold them back, or like try and push people off.
At the line, that's BM. That is BM.
Yeah, it does look like a lot of fun. I would like to try it myself at some point because I don't know how much it costs, but it does look so much fun. Just looks like such dumb fun. But yeah, Wipeout or Takeshi's Castle, you know, whatever you watched more. I'm guessing actually no one from the US. Do people have Takeshi's Castle in the US? I don't think they do they?
I don't think so anyway. I mean, to be fair, you keep saying it. I've not watched it. I'm just going along with it.
Okay.
You just say Wipeout and that I'm like, yes.
Okay, yeah, we'll just go with Wipeout. because it does have it does have one game where you're on like you're walking around this like circle and there's a bar that just goes around and tries to knock people off, which is exactly like one of the Wipeout. Was it Wipeout or was that a different show? God,
Listen, it doesn't matter. Wipeout. We stick with Wipeout.
We'll stick with Wipeout.
Wipeout's a very good show. I like Wipeout a lot.
I've not watched Wipeout in a long time though.
I don't know if it's on anymore. Honestly, I really don't. To be honest,
It's got to have reruns somewhere, right?
Yeah, probably. I
just don't watch TV.
I played it when Richard Hammond was hosting it. That was really good. They were the days.
Yeah, I don't know how we've gone off on another tangent again.
This is the game podcast. We're talking about British television.
Listen, it's gonna happen every now and then, but yeah. Other than that, I don't know if I've been playing anything else. I'm trying to think. I mean, I played a bit of League. I've played a lot of League. I'm really enjoying League again for some reason.
Don't mind. I'm having a lot of fun. We need to play again. We need to play again. I've got some time over the next couple of days. We'll get a good little session in. We should try ranked in it, mate. We really should.
I don't know how well ranked would go.
We carry so many of our games. Like
how many games do we lose though?
It depends how greedy I get and how stupid you are for following me. That's what it comes down to. If we stop that, we'll win a lot more, I think.
Like I'm always like I know where we should be, and I'm like, we shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't. Like, why are we doing it? And then I just follow you in anyway.
I'm Zed. I go in, I get a kill, and I get out. It's easy.
That's the problem. Like, you'll have like 30 kills, but we'll still lose the game.
I've got like 6 items. 15 minutes into the game, we still managed to lose. So I'm like, nah, I need a 50 bomb in this game.
Meanwhile, I'm just, I'm
not like that in ranked.
I'm split pushing. Okay.
Yeah, you're just top lane, just hiding. You load in. You don't say anything, and 15 minutes later, you come running down as Jack's like, I'm here, boys, here to come, and just start bonking people.
I got back. I've actually played a bit of Nasus and Renekton again recently. I'm like switching it up now. So I really enjoyed playing Nasus. Nasus is just stupid.
I picked up Ari again.
But when I played with Ziff and Zifiri, they did not like me playing Nasus. No one likes when you play Nasus because I just farm.
You don't do anything. You just farm. You're not allowed to.
I also won the game. I won the game because I came in at the end and was two-shotting people.
It's a good time. I got a penta as well a couple of days ago with Vi, my first pie.
I think you messaged me about that. Your first pie?
I was really happy. It was my first pie with Venta. It was a good time. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I dominated the game as well, to be fair.
I don't know why I'm imagining Vi and a pie now. I'm getting some strange images.
I'm gonna Google this and just see what
Vi and a pie.
I just want to know. League of Legends, Vi and a pie. Let's have a look.
I really hope there's just a really...
Never Google that.
Okay.
Don't Google that. You don't get Vi. You get some other stuff.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you should put League. So, Vi on a pie, maybe.
Vi on a pie. No, I put League of Legends, Vi in a pie, I put. But I just don't do it. It's just,
okay.
You don't even get Vi, you just get a bunch of other characters doing stuff. Let's leave it there.
Okay, you know what? Let's take a break there. Let's take a break on that. On that note, we'll be back. I believe we might even have someone else dropping by. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in like 10 minutes or so, and we'll get right into the news. And we're back. Welcome everyone. We now have a Tefrian. He has arrived. Welcome.
Oh yes.
So,
hello.
Now that you're here, Tef, do you want to talk about what you've been playing this week? Because I hear you might be playing a game.
We need to make up for lost time, don't we? We just scroll the battle at this point, please.
I've actually played so... You should have had me at the start. I've been playing so many games. Like, we could do an entire 2-hour podcast on just what I've been playing.
Oh,
I keep dipping in and out of loads of games this week.
I thought you'd just start talking about Doom, I'll be honest.
I mean, I've been playing a fuck ton of Doom because QuakeCon's been on, and there's been a QuakeCon sale, so I bought Doom 2, Doom 64, Quake 1, and Doom 2016. So it's quite a lot of
Doom. It sounds like.
I think it's not even that, mate. It's just that they're about £2 and are on sale. So I was like, why not?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand that.
It's good laughing. Just run around and shoot things. It's good fun. And today I just spent all day watching John Romero's interviews about how we designed the levels, and it's just cool stuff. So been playing that, and yesterday I decided I wanted to play like a spooky game, so I started going through my Steam library. I was like, what
Oh,
spooky games do I have that I've not played or haven't played in a while? And I stumbled across Fear 3,
Resident
which
Evil 7.
Fear
I
Free.
had. I've never
For
played
the
it.
spooky game. For a spooky game.
I've never played one before, and
Oh, you've
I
never
don't
played
even
a
know how
Fear
it got in
game?
my library. I've never played one
It's
ever,
probably not the
and
best one to jump on, is it?
no, but that's the thing. I knew it was. I knew that one was like meant to be the worst one, but I was like, I'll give it a go because I've never played a Fear game. I don't even know how this got on my library. I don't. It must have been free or something. I definitely never bought it. Because I wouldn't have started with 3 if I was going to pay for it. But so like I downloaded it and I played it for about 20 minutes and it's fucking shite. And I promptly uninstalled it and installed Dead Space 1 instead because I also had that
That's
and
a
I've never
much
played
better
it.
choice. Yeah, that's
Much
definitely a
better
much.
choice.
Yeah, okay.
I had a lot more fun playing Dead Space 1.
Dead Space
Never
1 is
played that
still
before,
really
either.
good.
Dead Space 1 was phenomenal. I don't even like scary games. That was a really good game.
Actually, play that, Zolt?
On like the PlayStation 3.
3.
Yeah, it was PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely
3,
wasn't 2.
No,
No.
the 2. Yeah, PlayStation 3. Yeah, I played Dead Space. I was quite young when it came out though. When did that come out actually?
Yeah, it was early in that generation. Like it's a
Yeah, it was
2008?
really 2030. No, it's
Oh, no.
February 2000. Oh, that's 2. That's 3. What? The? That's a lie.
yeah. First game's
2008.
2008.
It was 2008.
Okay,
Yeah,
there you go.
13th, 2008.
I
Yeah.
know my dates.
I seen like 2013. I was like, no, I went like 17. No. Oh, I'm old.
Yeah, it's showing its age now. Honestly, when you play it, if it doesn't feel old or clunky or anything like that. It's just very of its time. When you go back to games from that time now, you think they're not going to feel that different because they were still like dead cinematic and still had like
It
passably
was really good.
realistic graphics. You know what I mean? But like when you play them now, like there's certain things about them which just wouldn't fly now. Like the fonts are like this
It
big
hasn't
on the
aged
screen,
well.
like huge.
Yeah. It's
But
still a
I'll
really
probably
good
do
game,
another
though.
playthrough. Yeah.
oh
I'll
yeah,
probably
it's
do a
still
playthrough
really
of it.
fun. It is definitely. It's still really fun. It's just Resident Evil 4 in space. What's not to like? Perfect.
Never
Yeah.
played any of the Resident Evil games. I should give them a go with how much I actually enjoyed Resident Evil 7.
Did you just up yourself, Zolt?
Yeah?
Did you just up yourself?
Yeah,
You got a ladder.
Okay. I probably just honestly, I think I've moved the boom arm. I think I just broke the boom arm. Oh no.
Amazing.
I'm gonna lower
Yeah, no,
Zolt right down.
Every time you do that, a little volume control panel appears on our faces.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a
good
problem. I
It's
wasn't
aesthetic.
ready for his audio to change, but that's okay. But yeah, it's nothing to worry about. Okay, he's all better now. All right. Yeah, Dead Space is like such a good game. I still really want to. I feel like we still need to like at some point sit down, Ziff, and we all just gather around. You know, when this all blows over, all gather around and just sit down and play a horror game and give Ziff the controller and just sit back. You know.
But I was actually talking to him about this, and he's played Dead Space, weirdly. But Dead Space isn't really actually all that scary. It's quite tense more than scary.
I think he's played
really.
Resident
yeah,
Evil as well.
He's got Resident Evil 2, the remake.
Yeah.
Although he says he's too chicken shit to play that. He's played like 20 minutes of it, but he
Oh.
appreciates the game for its great design. He was saying to me once, he's going like, I can really appreciate it because I can tell it's a really good game, but I'm too scared to play it. But we should definitely just tie him to a chair and make him play like Silent Hill 2 or something.
Oh yes. Oh, Fatal Frame. Get him to play Fatal Frame.
Oh, Fatal Frame.
And bring
Kill
back.
him off.
Oh.
Or just PT. I've actually still got a PS4 with
Oh,
PT
you still
on it.
have
You should just get
PT?
him to play that.
Oh.
I still have PT.
A good time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it would be really funny, I think. Even if it's not recorded, just for our own amusement.
I find scary games not enjoyable because of how scared I am during said scary games. I feel like honestly, what I should do because I think
No.
I should stream them. I think I should stream scary games. I think it
no.
would make for good content.
I'm trying to turn him down. He's just gotten so loud.
What have I? What have
don't
you
know
done
why.
to me?
He went all like Zodian on the stream then.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I haven't changed anything. Like, mine's still the same.
Okay, it's fine. Maybe you just got louder. I don't know.
Got excited. Sorry, I got excited.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't get I don't get scared by games really. Like if I like I don't know, Resident Evil has never really been a scary game for me. It's always been a very cheesy game. I like the cheese of Resident Evil. That's what I like the most. But
Yeah.
admittedly the new games do it really well. Like they've got a bit of cheese in there, but they also take themselves a bit more seriously and actually have a pretty well written story. Like the characters are written a little better, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the new ones definitely are like a bit scarier. I think what fear there is in Resi comes from tension rather than a proper horror, doesn't it? It just makes the game so horribly tense that you're kind of you're fearing for your life more than like being scared of anything that's happening on the screen. It's just that tension because you know if you
Yeah.
die, it sets you back. So especially in the classic ones, it's going to set you back about half an hour if you die. So
Yeah. I mean, you know, I feel like you get enough if you're playing on normal, you get enough ink to keep going, you know. You're fine. I feel like it gives you
awful at the old Resi games. I think I'll be really bad at them.
I don't know. It just takes getting used to. Like it gives you more than enough ink ribbons. I always end the game with like 9, 10 ink ribbons still.
Yeah, it does. But that's the problem though. I can't help but hoard because I'm so scared
Yeah.
of being stuck without ammo or ink ribbons that I always end up when I get to the last box. There's always like a huge armory of weapons in there and like 20 ink ribbons.
I just put everything inside then, easy peasy.
I have the issue of I just like hoarding stuff in every game ever. Like
yeah,
like any.
I'm bad for that now.
Like JRPGs especially. I feel like Tef could definitely relate to this. I'm just like I got too much.
God, yeah, and like because like in most Final Fantasies, there's no like item limits to how much you can hold. So by the end of the game, you end up with just an incomprehensible list. And if you wanna use like one item in your pocket, you've just got to scroll for hours to find the one that you're looking for by the end of the game.
I had that.
Such good games though. I do want to replay some JRPGs. I feel like I might just in my downtime just play some because it's hard to play one on stream just because of how long those games are. That is not a JRPG.
Bring it back anyway. It's a good game.
Is it? Did you play it?
I hate it.
Okay.
It had such potential. Didn't work out.
Did it?
No.
I like Project Zomboid. I still think it's kind of cool.
The only one who enjoyed it.
It's got like a mix of like sim stuff in there as well, and I just like the idea of like it's a really good game if you wanted to like role play or simulate like a zombie apocalypse. Because if you get bit once, there's a chance that you're infected, you know? And then you don't know. Like, it's one of those things where over time you get more and more sick. And you're not sure if it's just like a fever or if you're actually infected. And in the end, you die and then you can come back and find the person you were playing before and kill them and then take the stuff off them. Hello? Did everyone just...
Yep.
Okay.
Just chilling. I thought that was a statement, not a question.
I thought you would keep going. You have a great time though.
But no, did any of you actually play Project Zomboid, or was it just me?
No. I did. I did play a little bit of it because it did have so much potential and it looked like it was going to be so good, and then it kind of just never really came together, did it? But you're right, all the simulation aspects made it so interesting. It
was really cool, like the idea of like, if you want to go for a window, there's a chance you can cut yourself going through if you break the glass instead of opening the window, and there's like alarms that can go off that'll attract the zombies. It has a lot of cool stuff, and I think I don't know when you played it, but because it was one of those games that was in development for a long time,
and it's still early on when I played it.
It's still in like early access, it's still in its alpha or beta or whatever.
Yeah, that's the problem, really. Isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's one of those games that when did this? Was it like 2011, 2012?
I think it would have been that early, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like when development started. Maybe that was like even when it first came out in like early access form.
Let's see.
I don't actually know.
It first released in 2011 as a tech demo.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it was released to Steam's early access in 2013. Yeah, see, I think I played it even before it was on Steam. I think I played it as like the early tech demo, so it would have been 2011, 2012.
Because I remember having like a story like mission where you go in and you had to like board up a house, and it was like, I think that was like the tutorial, and you had like a kid or something.
That was all
Yeah.
scripted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was scripted up to a point. It could end differently because at a certain point the scripting would stop and it wouldn't tell you when. But
Mm.
yeah, I know like another one follower would come in and would help you for a little bit, and then he'd turn on you, and it was all very
Yeah.
cool. But the game was trying to trick you into thinking that was all happening naturally when it wasn't. It was all scripted because the game
Yeah.
was too early in development for that sort of thing to be happening yet.
That's not in the game. I don't think that's even in the game anymore. Like, you don't see other humans in the game or other survivors. You can hear people. Like, you hear screams or gunshots and this. Oh, excuse me.
Nice.
Okay, that snuck up on me. But you can like hear like a scream and that'll like attract zombies to that direction and stuff like that. And you can hear gunshots and like helicopters go over, but there's not. I don't think the scripted thing's in there anymore, which is interesting.
Yeah,
I think
well, that makes sense. I guess I think that was just there to give people an idea of what the game was supposed to be like once the AI was integrated properly.
I mean, I still don't know if they've got AI in now anymore, but we'll see. I think the multiplayer aspect of it is really cool, like the idea of having this big server, and you know, one of your friends could be infected and not tell you and be like, "No, I'm fine, guys. I'm just chilling," you know. And you can actually check other people for the wounds and stuff as well.
That would be funny.
So I saw a group of people actually do RP on that before, and there was stuff like that that made it super interesting. And that's what interests me about the game. What are you going to say, Tef?
I was just going to say, I'd probably pop you in the head right at the start of the game just to be on the safe side. I wouldn't trust you
I'm
for a
with you.
second.
I'm with you. Just turn on them instantly. Just start shanking them up.
All right, listen, guys. I've played the game the most. I'm going to run you both down. Mow you both down with a car.
So
but yeah,
how do we even get...
I don't know. Who brought up Project Zomboid? It was Zolt, wasn't it?
Zolt. It was
Zolt. It was me, yeah.
Why'd you bring up Project Zomboid?
Honestly, I wasn't listening to the JRPG thing, and we were talking about like old games and stuff, and then I just mentioned it. I don't know why it popped into me. I think I was thinking about it actually a couple of days ago, because I was like, "Oh, Zan used to play that game," and yeah, there we are.
Okay. Cool. Good story. Have you been playing anything else?
Good story. It just went down a loophole for 10 minutes on it.
Yeah, I did. A loophole.
A loophole was listen, I've been in work. I've spoke to 103 customers today in work. I've spoke too much. English is not.
Poor people.
No. Yeah.
I don't think it's ever been your first language, but that's okay. All right, Tef, what else have you been playing this week?
Right, I've not played anything else. Should we talk about the news?
Yeah, we can move on to the news then, because there's been quite a bit going on. I mean, there was actually the State of Play event, but I don't think anything too interesting happened there, so I don't really... It was just a lot of indie games. There was no Silent Hill. Very sad. Oh, no. Even after the tease. Who could have saw that coming?
Tease. The way you were like, we're definitely getting a Silent Hill, guys, even though Sony tried as hard as they could to like temper expectations. They were like,
I mean, I never said definitely.
Guys.
That'd be cool if we did.
Indie trailers, and you were like, but what if the Silent Hill? What if the Silent Hill though, guys?
And that's what a lot of people on Twitter were saying, so I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, it was just.
I also like taking jabs at Konami.
Oh, that's always good. Always good fun.
Yeah. Konami and Ubisoft are very good punching bags. But do you know who else is a very good punching bag? Activision Blizzard.
What a segue.
Most of all, the big guy himself, Bobby Kotick, right at the top, sitting there with his 40 million a year.
40 million?
I swear the amount he makes goes up every time I hear. Every time I hear about how much he makes.
Everyone else goes down. They take other people's wages and give it to him.
Yeah. So there was a big list of like wages and stuff that Blizzard stuff put together. Right? I think Jason Schreier broke the story, didn't he?
So Jason Schreier contacted a bunch of people who work at or have worked out there and asked them to provide. I think it was their bonuses, wasn't it? Or no, it was their rises, I think.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, bonuses were included, I think.
Yeah, it was like below 10%, which is significantly less than Blizzard employees.
But yeah, so yeah, like just it's ridiculous the amount that he's actually taking out of this. Meanwhile, the rest of the company again
down the loo.
Yeah, all the peons, you know.
Ones who do the work.
Everyone.
Job's done.
All the ones below Bobby just sits there in his office chair, looking down, his throne, looking down upon all the Blizzard workers. I imagine it's like a factory, but you know, just a lot of PCs, and he just looks down.
I like to think it's like the end of the last episode of Gravity Falls, and he's just got a giant throne built out of the corpses of all of the Activision staff he's had to murder to get to that point.
I've not watched Gravity Falls, but I like the sound of that.
That really does happen in a Disney show.
I have questions. I'm not. I've seen bits of that show and now I'm confused, but that's okay.
I've never seen it.
Man, you need to get on it.
Yeah, that's. I don't know how we. That's. Yeah, but
anyway,
yeah. Let's just be like Bobby Kotick. He is the worst. What can we say?
What a dick.
Yeah.
As we in the industry like to say.
And like, you know what? It's okay to take a couple of shots at Bobby because he's sitting there pretty comfortable on his 40 million. He probably doesn't even hear any of the criticism he gets, let's be honest.
Oh, no. There's somebody who takes the bullet for him.
Yeah, someone manages all his social. Does he have socials? I don't know.
I don't think he lifts a finger. I think he's just there as a name. I don't even care.
I mean, what does he actually do for the company?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what does he?
He makes 40 million.
Yeah, well, yeah, apparently so.
That's what he does.
I want a cut.
But it's
ridiculous. Like, that's an absurd number for someone to make whilst everybody else is just getting spat on.
Yeah, I believe his bonus is like 30 million, isn't it? It's like, well, he only makes like 10 million a year, and then it's like, but his bonus is 30 or something like that. It's something silly.
It's just insane. Like for a company that owns World of Warcraft and Call of Duty, there's just no excuse to not have all of your staff be paid well.
Yeah, because some of them are not. Some of them were like complaining that they're like close to not even having a living wage for where they live. Like a lot of Blizzard staff actually have to like live together in an apartment to get by and stuff like that.
Insanity.
That is literally like there's no excuse for it other than passion behind like working with games. That's the only thing that's keeping them there, and that's such a shame that Blizzard.
Oh, that's how they keep them there. They're like, well,
the passion.
Well, like they send out emails to be like trying to poach people.
Guys.
You try and poach people from a company to be like, well, don't you want to work for a prestigious company like Blizzard Activision? You know, Activision Blizzard. You know, think of all the passion, all the work you could put into all your favorite games.
I don't know if you guys saw. You probably know that a lot of people who like started in Blizzard, did like internships there, or would very quickly move over to Riot because Riot are based very nearby.
I saw this.
They'll run to Riot as soon as they could, and there was a lot of tweets where people were putting out their Blizzard wage versus their Riot wage.
I saw this, yeah.
It was like, I'd say on average, it was probably like 40% higher at Riot. It was a ridiculous amount. It's just insane. Like the difference in the wages.
It's insane.
While Big Bobby's getting 40 mil.
Yeah. Like, it's just like compared to what, you know, I guess the culture is different in Japan, but at the same time, they're doing it right over there. Like,
they are.
When, you know, there's a chance that they might lose employees, they're like, okay, well, you know, whoever the CEO is over there, they'll take cuts. They'll take a big cut just to make sure everyone gets paid. Like, it wasn't that long ago that a bunch of Blizzard employees got dropped, wasn't it? I think it was a lot of community managers.
That was so dumb.
But you know what was worse about that? They then rehired a bunch of people to replace those jobs.
Yep. They were like, we need to cut down on things. Wasn't it like after the launch of like FA or something? It was like after the launch of something big. It's like, we've drained you for everything we can get. Now go.
It was during BFA, I know, at least. But
BFA's still out now.
Yeah. But they dropped a lot of people and then rehired. I think the intent there is to be like, okay, well now we can get new people in that we don't have to pay as much and stuff like that. So
each year they're just like, nah, we'll just reset the the labor cost.
I don't know, it's ridiculous, and don't like Bobby.
Oh,
Down with Bobby.
It stresses me out because I love World of Warcraft so much, and I hate Blizzard so much, and I feel bad supporting them by playing the game.
Yeah,
Well, that game gets replaced. Woo!
This is how I felt about Naughty Dog. Like, when you play The Last of Us 2, your jaw's on the floor from the level of detail and graphics. But then every time you see something and you appreciate it, your next thought is immediately how they
is all those workers at Naughty Dog
skipped sleep for this.
Like dead at the desk, being like, "Just gotta animate this one detail on this gun upgrade. Come on, just gonna rotate this model." Like falling asleep at the desk. I've not seen my wife and kids in 2 months.
2 months is not that easy. Oh man.
But yeah, it's one of those things. There was also,
Just one of those things.
Like I don't know we can just complain about it on the internet until something happens, which,
Well, I think our hero Jason Schreier's here now. He's going to sort things out.
Yeah,
Now that he doesn't work for the Games Press. I'm sure I've said this on the podcast before. Now that he doesn't work for the Games Press, he can say whatever he likes. I feel like beforehand, was it Kotaku?
Kotaku, yeah.
He worked for? It was,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Kotaku.
Yeah. Like, you can sort of, it never occurred to me until now, but now that I think about it, he will have had to have been careful about what he said when he worked for Kotaku, because you don't want to stop Kotaku from getting review copies. But now that he works for a tech publication and he's not actually in the gaming industry anymore, you can just rip these guys apart and it doesn't matter to Bloomberg.
I want him to.
Well, he clearly is, because this is like the third one of these articles he's put out this year already.
He had the Ubisoft one before this as well, didn't he? He's working his way through. So it's really cool to see. I mean, Blizzard, like, the thing is, there's parts of Blizzard that are doing really cool stuff as well. Like, Ian going on and doing all the interviews is really cool. It was nice to see a bit more communication from him. I think they've been doing better with communication stuff. They did also recently have all the real money trade bans that came shortly after the wage gap stuff came out. So I've seen some more cynical minds saying that this is to cover up for that. But I feel like it's a good thing nonetheless that they did this. I don't know. What do you know on the situation, Zolt? Because this is your forte.
Nothing, honestly.
Okay, cool.
I am informed.
I don't know.
So, essentially what happened was the Gallywix, which were they were boosters, right? Boosters.
So I do know a fair bit. I lied. Yeah, I do know a little bit. So essentially what Gallywix was, it was I don't know too much, but I kind of understand the very minimum, enough to understand what's going on. Essentially, what Gallywix is you can straight up pay them to boost your characters in whatever way, shape, or form. It's used by a lot of world first raiders, such as I'll throw Method under the bus. I don't care. Such as Method, they're one of many.
They were doing the real money trading, yeah.
Yes and no. It depends on what. Not for gold.
They did. No, they actually did. There was a.
Oh, you are right. Actually, it was the second guild. It wasn't. No, it was the second guild, and I forgot the name, so I do apologize for being ignorant there. But these like one of the contestants for Welfare, they come second quite often to Method. They don't pay for gold, but they will pay for boosts, as I believe.
Well, as far as we know,
somehow it's well, yeah. I mean, again, the people are being pulled into different interviews, this, that, and the other, and statements could be complete bull. We probably will never find out really, because there's no proof. You won't unless you get like screenshots and stuff, I suppose. But essentially what it was is just a bunch of Blizzard have decided to finally clamp down after 15 years of people selling boosts for actual money. But along with Gallywix came a bunch of people who worked for them, who helped these boosts. They decided, let's make a bit of money on the side, and they started selling gold, because through the boosting they were making an absurd amount of gold, like a ridiculous amount of gold. So they would just sell that for real money. Now, if it was done through Gallywix, the top people, like the like the officers of a guild, basically. They would get like a cut. So the owner would get like 40%, then the two people below would get 20%, and then the one below them would get 10%. Yes, so yeah, so it would cut between it how much they sold in like for real money, regardless of what it was. So some of them made a few thousand. I don't think it was enough to live off, but then that's when the
There's
gold
been
selling
conflicting
itself.
numbers though.
Yes, there has been. But that's when like the gold selling individually through Galleyworks came like really big because a lot of people seen opportunity in making gold and abused it because Galleyworks had a name, so they already had a platform and were known to have an absurd amount of in-game items and gold.
Yeah, so there was a lot of real money trading happening, and essentially this happened with a lot of the top rating guilds, which they didn't name names on some of them, and this whole group basically dissolved overnight because apparently some guy gave everyone like a moderator, and they all just started kicking each other from it and deleting all the evidence. And this just happened overnight, and apparently the guy at the top is just gone. Like, he's gone with the money. No one knows where he's gone. So yeah, that is something that happened and was really interesting.
It's insane, but I'm glad that people are starting to actually get banned for it, but it's like 15 years too late. You know what I mean?
I mean, there was also mention of how they actually were giving, like, Blizzard actually were already investigating them for like a year.
Yeah, yes.
So they actually had access to their numbers and stuff for a year. And there were some people that were, you know, had their tinfoil hats on and were like, well, Blizzard were, they know that these groups are actually helping them by getting, because they'd get more WoW tokens, essentially.
Yeah.
So they'd make, even Blizzard was profiting off it in a way. And a few people...
like tinfoil hat, it's great.
Yeah.
So stupid.
But, yeah, that's all there really is in the real money trade story. And that's it for Blizzard for today. We'll be back to them, though, I'm sure. I'm sure that's not the end of us complaining about Blizzard.
No, we'll never stop.
But shall we talk a little about Warner Brothers and Rocksteady and their new Suicide Squad game? So, what do you guys see on this?
There's not much to see at the moment, really, is there? There's just...
There was a tease put out.
Yeah.
So, this is a game that's been in development for a long time, and it got swapped between devs, didn't it? So it's kind of been in, like, development hell, I suppose. I don't know how long. Was it 2016? I think Jason Schreier might have mentioned it because he said he saw it back in, like, 2016. And it was... Who used to make the Batman games? Hold on.
No, that was Rocksteady. Rocksteady was made.
No, it definitely got swapped between devs. I don't remember the devs that swapped. Hold on. I will quickly look this up, but I'm 100% sure it got swapped. Have you guys played any of the Batman? I know, actually, you have played Zolt and Tef. You played Arkham Asylum when I was talking to you at one point, I think.
I played Arkham Asylum for the first time only a couple of months ago now. It was really good. It wasn't at all what I expected. I was actually expecting it to be like a beat 'em up game, and it's not like that at all.
Yeah,
I played Gotham City Imposters.
That's not anything close to it.
Hey, listen, that game was great. I don't even care. That game was so good.
I wasn't expecting a Metroidvania Batman game. That threw me. I thought it was just walk forward and punch things.
Yeah, it is really cool for what it is, and I think Arkham City like took it to another level. I don't know what Arkham Knight was like because that was a mess on PC when it first came out. That was like...
That didn't get a good rap anyway, that game.
No, it was a completely balked port when it first came out, so I just ignored it completely.
I want the Suicide Squad game to do good. I mean, I want like every game to do good that comes out nowadays, to be fair, but I don't understand like how the game's gonna play and everything. I really don't, because I've not played the Batman games. I don't have high hopes for it because the film for me was a letdown, and that's put a bad perspective in my mind of like...
I mean, I don't think the film's gonna have anything to do with it. It's gonna be completely different.
I hope it's good, because I was hyped for Suicide Squad for so long, and then the film came out, and yeah.
I mean, I don't really do comics, but I know the Suicide Squad comics are actually quite highly regarded. It's just that the film's crap, but they are drawing from good material, so
I hope it's good. I hope it's good.
I think it could be cool.
Yeah, I think it could be really interesting. I'm still trying to find this story on Suicide Squad. I'm scrolling through Jason's Twitter now, trying to find what he said. But it was something that was like in development back in 2016, and it definitely swapped hands at some point. So how this game will turn out, I don't know. But it does also mean, because there was some stories going around that Warner Brothers Interactive was up for sale, and Microsoft and a lot of other companies were actually really interested in buying. But after this announcement, it doesn't really seem like they're actually up for sale. It seems like that's, they're going to keep Batman and all of those games. It doesn't look like it's going anywhere, which is interesting.
Yeah,
I believe I probably gave a bump to some stock for like Microsoft and stuff when there were talks. But no, it's interesting.
Was that just a rumor, or was it actually confirmed that they were putting it up for sale at one point?
I think it was a very reliable rumor. It came from reliable sources, so we were fairly sure that it was gonna happen, but I guess it just never fell through. They didn't get the deal they wanted, which is why this all kind of comes together. But yeah, that was interesting to see. But yeah, I've not really played a ton of the Batman games. I'm kind of interested in Suicide Squad. We'll see. I never watched the movie or anything like that. I never watched the comics.
Don't even waste your time. Now, do you know what? It was good. It was okay, but it was just, the only way I can describe it is it was very Disney. That's the way I felt about it.
Do they have a musical halfway through? What do you mean very Disney?
No, it was just very cheesy. Like I
like
really
cheesy,
don't know
but I don't know. I think we might have lost Tef. Tef, you with us still?
I think we did lose Tef. He's frozen. I mean, it could be a worse frame, couldn't it?
Could be. That's true.
There we go. No, is he back?
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Welcome back.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't saying anything because I haven't seen the Suicide Squad movie, so I might have just switched off. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I just kind of went into like sleep mode for a while. Just.
You cam actually froze for us, which is why I wasn't sure. But yeah. But yeah, that's about all we've really got to say on, Rocksteady and Warner Brothers Interactive. The thing with Warner Brothers Interactive is they usually publish good stuff for the most part. They also really like to throw out, like, the thing I don't like about Warner Brothers Interactive is they always, on their games, they always seem to have, like, embargoes that are, like, a day of release. That's when, it's like, after the game's released, that's when they tend to let people let reviews out and stuff. That's my only issue I ever have with Warner Brothers.
I can't even think of anything else that they've published besides Lego games and Batman. Oh, never mind. They've actually, funnily enough, published Fear.
There you go.
It's mostly Lego games and Batman, though.
Did they not do Shadow of Mordor? Is that not them?
I can't spell Mordor. Oh, yeah, they did do that too.
Yeah.
Fair play. Yeah, they got some stuff here and there. Mortal Kombat as well.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat, because that's NetherRealm. I knew it was Middle Earth because they had like an embargo thing with that as well, which was really annoying to see.
The Witcher 3, according to this Wikipedia article, what?
That's not true.
No, CDPR published their own games, don't they?
Yeah, unless they published it in a different region for them or something.
Yeah, maybe.
I can't think what that would be, but it was definitely CD Projekt who were behind that.
Yeah.
I'm confused now. I need to like look at that, but that's fine. Anyway, shall we move on to another really fun topic? Should we talk a little bit? Should we talk a little bit about Ubisoft? No one wants to talk about Ubisoft.
It's something that's a reoccurring topic on the podcast. So
I do like to just get a good chuckle out of Ubisoft every now and then,
Honestly, I was speaking to Taf a little bit while I was on a break. This is so fucking stupid. Like, we were talking about it last time, I believe, and we were talking about, like, if they are going to release any form of female character in any way, shape, or form in Assassin's Creed, if they were to do it immediately after the backlash, they've done it because of the backlash. That's what it looks like.
So, the thing is, there was always going to be a female character in the game. There was always a choice. The thing is, this was a cinematic trailer they put out 3 months ago, but
Yeah, and now they've changed.
But now they've put out a new one with the female lead instead after all this backlash, which is just
That's what
funny
I'm
to
saying.
say.
It's that the timing for it is just like it's too perfect. It's too perfect.
I don't know why. Like, they could have put it out at the same time, you know? Had like different, or like even switched mid cinematic trailer. Like, I don't know why they've decided, let's just replace the model in this trailer and put it out again.
Yeah, it's 100% just blatant pandering, isn't it?
It
Yeah.
is. Oh, it is. It is. They've done it because of the backlash. I don't care what anyone says. This is 1000% done because of the backlash. The timing's too perfect for it not to be.
I don't even think anyone would argue with you, honestly. So I
Yeah.
think that's the general consensus. I've done some research, by the way, and by research I mean just following the source on that Wikipedia article. And Warner just distributed the physical copies of
Okay,
The
I
Witcher
figured
in
it would be.
America.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't, like, it's just really dumb that they do that. Like, they could have put out this at the same time as the original trailer if they really wanted to, or just have them switch between the male and female, because it was always going to be in there. But now, because they've had the whole abuse allegations and stuff going on with the company, they're like, and you know, they had all the articles coming about how they minimized female leads. They're like, no guys, look, she's in a trailer now. Look guys, remember this trailer? She's in it. And it's really just strange to see, especially since, from what Ziff said last time, apparently like the female lead was the character people liked the most in the previous Assassin's Creed game. So I don't know.
According to that whole Ubisoft backlash, she was actually supposed to be the main character, and
Yeah.
the Blokey McBlokeface who you actually play as was thrown in last minute because some sexist Ubisoft exec decided that it wouldn't sell.
Right.
I
Remember that?
Wonder which one that could have been. Let's
That's
spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel that has one name on it.
I mean, when it's Ubisoft, there's probably a few more names on there, but it's probably Sergei Haskell.
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
this is a recurring thing, though. You're right. They've been doing this since at least Syndicate, where at least in Syndicate there actually was two main characters, but
that was after the backlash of Unity, though.
Yeah, but
Again,
like,
it feels like they only react to backlash and not prepare for anything at all.
Well, I mean, hopefully we'll see the company actually restructure a bit and change with everything that went through recently.
You don't want that. If they restructure and change, we'd have no topics on the podcast.
I mean, it's true.
That is true. Well, I'm not to complain about. I wouldn't get to punch, like, use my favorite punching bag Ubisoft every week, but no, like, I still think, you know, CEO needs to step down. They need to restructure, and that's probably the best thing they can do. Because, like, just market games like that. Like, if you want to have a female, just throw it in. Like, this is one of those things where ever since Unity came out, they've had this recurring thing of, like, I guess before the abuse allegation, they've had the recurring, like, hey, we'll maybe put a female lead in there. And they always advertise it with the male as the lead. They've always done this, and then because of the backlash, they're just like, okay, guys, here you go. And it's, I don't know, it's weird because the previous game people like the female lead more, so I don't know why they were. I guess it is just the people that were actually working at the company prior. It was all the people that the allegations came out about, and probably more. There's probably more that are still, you know, hidden away, because I'm sure, like, dropping Sergei Haskell was just like, oh look, we've changed, guys. We've changed. They drop one big name and they're like, look, that was big, guys. So,
you know what? Even now, just look at that character. Look at her design. You can tell that they genuinely don't believe that female characters will sell, because if you look at this new female main character, she looks like a cross between the main character from Hellblade and the main character from Horizon. They have no trust in her. They're too scared to be creative. They go, let's go with what's worked before, because they you can tell they genuinely don't believe that female characters sell. It's insane.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. Like, maybe a year down the line we'll see them Ubisoft won't be under as much heat. I think they're going to go quiet for a while after this, honestly. I think we're not going to hear a lot from them after this has all come out. There might be maybe a bit more that comes from the allegations, but after that they'll go quiet for a while and they'll just be putting out stuff, I think. And maybe we'll just take a punch at them every now and then, little jab. But yeah, hopefully we'll see them actually do some good stuff, and maybe they'll have more female leads in games and stuff. Which, I mean, the way they go, like I don't know, Far Cry looks like it's gonna just be a Far Cry. They've never really had a female lead, have they? They've not really done a mix. You've not got to choose. It's always been a character that you're just given, who usually has no personality anyway.
That varies game to game, I feel, but it's always like a white middle class man, isn't it? Always.
Yeah, I guess the character like Frey, like, I mean,
character in 3 was the most white middle class man ever. He was on like a student holiday.
Yeah, I know, but he was like, it's one of those things where I didn't really feel like he had a personality. There was the one thing of where he felt like over the course of the game he got a little more deranged, and that was it.
I think
like a little bit.
You're confusing intentional lack of character with just bad writing there. I think he's supposed to have a character, but they just didn't do a good job giving him much of an arc. But you can tell he's supposed to have one.
Yeah, I can tell he's supposed to have a character, but it's just not well done.
Yeah, but it's meant to be there. It's still a character. It's just a bad one. It's not. He's not designed to be a blank slate, which is what you're saying. He's not like Master Chief.
Oh no, I never meant that he was a blank slate. I meant that it was just really poorly done.
Oh yes, that I can agree on, definitely.
Yeah.
I remember there being whole story missions in Far Cry 3 which are meant to develop his character, but they just didn't do anything at all.
I was sad because I had Far Cry 3, and when I started getting into it, I managed to lose a CD key somehow. So I just never ever finished it. I got like 10 to 15 hours deep, and I just couldn't get any further.
Wait, you mean you lost the CD key?
The CD key doesn't work on Steam, and it's on Steam as well. It doesn't work. It refuses to work. It hasn't done since literally 10 to 15 hours of playtime.
Well, do you know how about you play? How did you play it originally?
I think it was on... Honestly, I can't even remember. It's been that many years.
Okay.
It's been that many years. I'm pretty sure it was on Steam, though.
Yeah, I had it on Uplay, and I guess I had it on Steam as well. Got it on Steam, and then you had to use Uplay, even if you had Steam.
Yeah, that is right. Then that's what it was. Yeah, because it's on Steam. I've just checked. It's on Steam, so it would have been through Uplay, but from Steam.
Yeah, but yeah, that's about all we can really say on Ubisoft. You know, a little dig every now and then. It was always fun until they go quiet, which, well, it's gonna happen. I feel like these companies all have a cycle of they do really bad thing and then they go real quiet for a while, and then they'll come back and we're like, oh, these guys are actually making good stuff, and then they'll go back to doing the bad stuff again. It's the cycle.
It is a cycle with all AAA publishers these days, isn't it, really? That they just go up and down constantly. Except for EA, who are just consistently shit and have been since about 2010.
They've embraced it. They're like, we are the villain.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they're like, and what? You're still going to give us money, so and what?
But yeah, so now that we're done complaining about game publishers, shall we complain about a certain streaming company? Should we move on to Twitch? Because
is it really a complaint?
Well, I mean,
I think it's got potential myself. I think it's gonna be decent for consumers.
It seems stupid. I'm not gonna lie. It just seems like it's a name rebrand. It feels like Amazon maybe are trying to have more of a gaming platform, and that's where Prime Gaming will come in. So the idea here is they're gonna rename Twitch Prime to Prime Gaming, so it will be no longer drop those Twitch Primes, just drop those Prime Gamings, boys. Drop them in the chats.
If you think for 1 minute that McConnell's gonna say that, you are wrong.
Yeah, no one is. It just doesn't roll off. No one's saying Prime Gaming, but I think it's Amazon's plan to develop more of a gaming side of their platform. Because
it's a good thing, I think. Honestly, I think it's a good thing.
I mean, it's not on Twitch Prime. It's going to change. It just feels like a weird change for the people that are just doing Twitch.
In gaming for people outside of it, I suppose.
And all the games that Amazon have put out so far have not been that great. Well, the only real pro
Crucible.
Crucible, and then New World is the big one that everyone's waiting for.
Delayed.
Yeah, so we don't really know.
2021.
Yeah, and
Crucible's the game that got unreleased, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got put back into development.
That's the one that got put back into development after releasing.
Amazing.
So, I don't know. We'll see what happens with this. Maybe they'll go more into trying to be their own sort of platform like Steam or Origin, but Amazon, you know? I feel like that's why they want to rebrand it too.
I honestly think you're probably looking into it a little bit too hard. I think it just makes sense.
Why would they? It doesn't make sense to me that they rebrand it though.
It makes sense to me because it was already something you got for having Amazon Prime, and it seemed strange that Amazon Prime was giving you Twitch Prime because they were kind of two separate companies, even though they're not really. They're not at all, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to make it clearer that there's a strong connection, and I think it.
I mean, it said Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime, Twitch. I feel like the Twitch Prime had a stronger connection because Twitch isn't just gaming, so it's like undermining those. Okay.
I think you misunderstand what I'm saying. Though I'm not saying, make Prime closer to Twitch. I'm saying bring Twitch closer to Amazon and make them more of one brand. I think that's what they're trying to do. It makes sense to me because I just use someone else's Amazon Prime to get myself Twitch Prime, so I understand how closely linked they are. But it's probably they're probably going to try to bring Twitch's whole brand closer to Amazon's brand. I think it just makes sense. Because people, you will never underestimate how easily confused people can be, and the fact that they're two separate brands, even though they're both owned by Amazon, that will confuse people. And I bet it's just Amazon trying to bring everything under one umbrella.
It's not like they're renaming Twitch though or anything. It feels like it undermines the people that don't do gaming on Twitch, because a lot of Twitch now is not gaming. So it kind of just takes away from that, and it confuses people of what Twitch is as well. It's like Prime Gaming. Oh, there's people just chatting, or people doing a podcast about politics, or people cooking on stream. There's a lot of streams that aren't gaming now. That is a very popular thing on Twitch. So it's really weird they do this. I do think it's more of like they want to build their own platform with this Prime Gaming. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. Because I think the reason they like Twitch, like I think they definitely make a loss on Twitch. Like the only reason they have Twitch is advertising. I feel like they use this to push things, and it's also something they can package with their Amazon Prime to then advertise Amazon Prime
to Amazon. Like just moved it completely.
I mean, yeah, I don't see that happening.
It's stupid. I don't see it happen. I'm just saying, can you imagine it?
All they gotta do is flip a switch.
I mean, speaking of flipping the switches, have you seen the latest?
Okay.
We can change it.
Yeah, we'll change in a second. But yeah, I think it's interesting that they are renaming it. I don't know. It seems the only reason they gotta be doing this is they're preparing for something. They're preparing to make their own platform, because they've wanted a space in gaming for a while. Like they've had the game development studio, the Amazon game development studio that they've formed. They've put out some stuff. Well, I mean by that, it's just been Crucible so far. They've got New World on the way. They've owned Twitch for a while, but I do think they've only owned Twitch for advertising purposes, because they can very easily advertise stuff on Twitch, and they can also then bundle it in with their Amazon Prime, so it's like another incentive to pick up Amazon Prime. Because how many people on Twitch have been like, well, I might as well get Amazon Prime, it's good value, I get my Twitch Prime, I get Amazon Prime, I get all the I can get my deliveries faster. I feel like it's a good bundle for them. At the same time, I feel like that's the incentive.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that is probably the incentive behind it, to be honest with you. Because you're not going to be paying any less. I think it's just going to influence more people to buy it. Because I say you're not paying more.
I don't
miss that. Are you paying more? I don't think you are.
No, nothing has changed at all. Switch.
They're just giving you more. So yeah, it's probably I
don't think they're giving you more either. I think you're just getting the same.
It's just a rename, that's all.
Yeah, it's just they're just renaming it, which is why I don't know. And we'll see what happens with it. But Twitch have been up to a lot of stuff lately, and we don't really know what's going on because they never really talk about any. Much like Dr. Disrespect's ban, Still know nothing on that. And now
Excellent segue.
he's live on YouTube. So he actually did his comeback stream very recently. So it was on.
Oh
it was
man,
on
it
the
was
Friday.
so funny when you guys were so hyped on Thursday when he just put out that like.
I mean, we knew it was probably gonna be that.
Oh yeah, I said it straight away. I was like, it's gonna be an
We were
hour.
all saying
I said it
that.
was gonna be an hour. I didn't think he'd leave the whole stream on for like a day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I after like 20 minutes, I was like, he's not streaming. I was like, this is the stream. And that's like, I just like, but I was.
It's
still
such a
brought into
smart marketing move, though. It was really well executed.
So many people got pissed off.
It's so funny though. You say that, but I think you guys spent all your hype on that stream because.
Oh no, I watched the actual stream.
No, I know,
I
but
agree.
you were all in the chat and you were all hyping it up and you were all talking about it and you were so excited and then nothing happened and then the next day when something actually did happen, you were all just like, "Oh yeah, it's here. Better watch it."
I agree with you, but it worked.
I was actually messaging Ziff back and forth when it was on.
He had like 380,000 viewers on that fake stream, but the next day he went over 500,000.
So he peaked at 511k, over 500,000 viewers, which is insane. That's
we
not
done some research beforehand. The
it's not the biggest number
to go over that is Ninja, but that's because he had Drake on his stream.
Yeah.
No,
so
I consider that's a debut on a new platform.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of people that want to know about his bands, but the fact that he hit 511k, which is, I think that was at the time it was more than the top two categories on Twitch combined, which is insane to think about. So there was that, and one of them was like League of Legends, and there was probably some sort of tournament going on in League of Legends because it's League. There's always something going on with League, but yeah, it's just for an individual to hit that number is insane, and I don't know. I think Twitch just has this problem of they need to speak on stuff like this. They need to actually have a spine and come out and talk about stuff, because when they don't, everyone is now on Dr. Disrespect's side for the most part. Most people are like, okay, well. There's like some people that are still skeptical, but most people are, more on his side than Twitch's side at this point because Twitch have said none. And Dr. Disrespect came out on stream and he actually he addressed it and he was like, we don't know why we've been banned. Yeah, and he said it in a way that sounded very frustrated on stream.
Oh yeah. But the way he said it was just like so much emphasis and it was so much like meaning behind it, and it was nice to see in a way. Because he's like, I don't care, I don't need them. Fuck them. Here we are. Just like laid his cards out on the table, let's go.
So
this stream was incredible. I went back and watched some of it. I watched the 20-minute intro thing. Oh my god, the production and his streams are just second.
Yeah, again, he does have the best. He probably has one of the best teams behind him out of every streamer.
Oh, easily.
Yeah. He gets stuff done, but I mean, it's bizarre that Twitch. I understand there's legal stuff going on now because, again, with the contract that dropped, they've got lawyers involved because obviously there's a lot of money at stake there. So they're in talks now. And if Dr. Disrespect was banned for no good reason, they can sue. They can probably make some money off that.
I think it's got to be legal because the amount of money that man made for Twitch. They can't ban him for
you
some
say that shite. You say that, but you underestimate how petty the top people of companies can be.
Jeff Bezos is nearly a trillionaire. He's got to scrape money from somewhere.
Listen, I feel again, it's one of those things where I feel we hear a lot of petty stories about executives and companies, and we know this came from higher up. We still don't know what exactly it was.
Nope.
Maybe it could be just that they thought he was maybe bad for the brand, but that's kind of strange because there's so many other people on Twitch that would be bad for the brand marketing wise that maybe should have been banned in the past, but I don't know, they don't really
There's so many people who've should have been banned and haven't. So there's something's happened behind the scenes. There's no way, because people have done blatant things on stream that is enough to get people banned and they've never been banned. And then it's fair enough. Now that Disrespect has done some silly things on stream, everybody's gonna mess up at some point during the career. It is what it is. But when it comes down to bannable offenses, just things that you should just be banned for, and that's that. He's not up there. He really isn't. So it's got to be behind the scenes legal action. It just has to be.
I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever even know, honestly. Maybe if this goes go to court and like some stuff comes out about it, then maybe. But I don't know. I don't think there's any point really speculating on it because there's not much we can really tell. We like I don't know what. I've got no idea. But yeah, he came back and it was
Came back with a bang.
Yeah, that's the biggest. I think for minus the Drake stream, that's like the biggest a streamer's ever hit on their own, which is it's really impressive to see. And I do think Twitch needs to wake up and actually do something.
Wake up, sheeple.
Yeah, because Twitch just have the worst PR team in the world. Let's be honest. Do you ever hear anything good about Twitch?
No. Twitch, good. Nope.
I don't know how, like, what goes through it. Like, who works at PR at Twitch and is like, yeah, this seems okay. We'll just let this fly.
It's like, oh, you know what? Flash a titty. It's okay. It is funny. Like, no. Stop, please.
I don't know.
I think they really genuinely think they don't have any serious competition. I think that's what it really comes down to.
I think that, and like the fact that they pulled 511k on YouTube though, I mean, just saying if you flick a switch.
I'm just flipping that switch. Just mate, they need to. I want to see someone strongly contest Twitch.
I mean,
Twitch won't realise there's a problem until it's already too late.
Yeah,
and YouTube does have the ability to actually take over overnight, and Twitch won't even have a period where they'll be able to fight.
How would they do that,
Tef? Too late.
How would they take over overnight? What would they have to do? But yeah,
we need a new UI. I hate Twitch's user interface. I hate it so much. It's awful.
Twitch or YouTube?
Both.
Okay.
I hate them both. YouTube's are the worst. That's the one thing I always
Twitch is a terrible site to browse though. Like,
it's awful.
If you're a first time coming to Twitch, you're like, what am I looking at? You end up.
I mean,
go on, Tef. You can probably speak on this.
Well, YouTube's at least it's a good UI. It's just not aimed at getting you straight to the videos that you want to see. It's trying to get you to watch the videos they want you to watch. So it's well designed. It's just scummy. But when you look at Twitches, you're just like, what am I even looking at? Where do I go to do anything on this website? None of it makes any sense. It's just awful design.
Yeah, you're fairly new to Twitch as well, so you can definitely attest to that.
Yeah, it honestly it confuses me a lot, and I've used it on and off throughout the years, and it's never changed either. Like, I've probably been using it for like 5 years on and off, and every single time I open it, I think maybe it's going to look good this time, and it's never changed.
They need an algorithm of some kind to actually recommend stuff to people, The
only way Twitch's user interface can get worse is if there wasn't a dark mode. It's the only way it can get worse.
Don't give them ideas. But yeah, that's the news for this week anyway. That is about it for the show. We're actually coming up on the 2-hour mark anyway. So shall we go ahead and plug our socials? I mean, we'll start with Tef. Go out to my bottom left.
I am on Twitter as Teffers, as always, and I've got about 3 followers, but it's fine. I also write Medium articles, and I keep forgetting how to link that. I don't know how that all works, but
Remember we said they got set up next week, but
it's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Just go on my Twitter anyway. Like, that's where all of my gaming related crap goes, and there's always a pinned tweet with the latest article.
Yeah.
And the latest one is about Yakuza.
And it is.
I fucking love Yakuza.
That's gonna be great for the audio listeners.
It's well, everyone's an audio listener, I suppose, but specifically the audio, because they're not going to expect it. That sounded, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
sorry, Zanrise, are you saying that we've got an audio-only version of the podcast?
Well, it's not official, but we do have the podcast now on Spotify. So the first 5 episodes are up. The next few are going to be up within the next few days. And we may be on iTunes soon as well. That is soon to come. But there will be a Spotify available, so you can go on there, have a listen. We do, you can skip the break in there as well. No break. You get to just listen to the whole thing, one full run. But yeah, Zolt, why don't you plug your socials?
I haven't got macros set up, so you have to just give me a second.
You can, there's people listening to this. You can also save them.
No, they can come to the stream and watch it. Now listen, twitch.tv/Zolton CX. That is ZOLTON. YouTube, you won't find me, but you can give it a go. If you type in Zolton, then something to do with Counter-Strike, I might show up, I might not. You might have to search for a while and not liked on there. Twitter.com/ZoltonCXZ. Also, I post nothing anymore other than tweets towards Ashes of Creation in hopes to get an alpha key, which is not
You've got
happening.
a problem. They don't even respond to you anymore.
They've gave up. They responded to every one of them, and then they just see my name now, and he was like, I've came to the conclusion they just think I'm trying to fuck with them straight away because the game's not out. I've seen next to no footage, and I'm already trying to work out ways to fuck with people. If you want to see those tweets, it's twitter.com/ZoltonCXZ.
There you go.
You've had your head, so far up their asses on Twitter. I can tell that you're angling for a beta key already.
Oh, I want beta. No. I want the alpha stage 2, mate. That's what I want. Because that's on the voyage pack.
Not happening.
I'll get it one day.
But yeah. And if you don't know me, you probably do, but it's twitch.tv/Zanrise. It is Zanrise on YouTube, Zangames on Twitter, and the real Zanrise on Instagram. And if you want to listen to this podcast, you can now listen to it on Spotify as well. Just search Zanrise, or this podcast is an alpha. Search Zanrise, it'll probably pop up. You'll find the podcast on there. Again, the first 5 episodes are up. The rest will be up in the coming days, so expect that. Yeah, so thank you for watching, everyone. Thank you for joining me, Tef and Zolt. Was nice to see you come on in. Even if it was halfway through.
Nice to just jump in.
Yeah. All right, so thank you for watching, everyone, and we'll be back next week. Bonsoir.
Adios.